Hello, everyone. I think we just had the entire free talk off camera, so we will now try to replicate that word for word.
So, how the fucking hell do they stop that fucking Phantom Lord Guildmaster from
Okay, I didn't
being
mean we actually should
revenged?
replicate that world.
Not all villains in shonen come back with a vengeance.
I'll get you next time, Fairy
I don't
Tail!
want to, but otherwise
No, that
he's just a
doesn't-
two-dimensional piece of crap.
He's not coming back.
No, he's not coming back.
He was a one-off arc villain.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going in the trash. Bye, boy.
There are a lot of villains that do come back. Josei is just not one of them.
Okay.
Fucking so here. I'm gonna put this out here, right? I got some recommendations, right? If you like Fairy Tail, go watch and read Rave Master and Eden-Zero.
Fairy Tail
in space. And Proto Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
so-
if you've finished Fairy Tail, go read the 100 Years quest.
Yeah. So 100 Years Quest is the sequel to Fairy Tail because Fairy Tail is finished. There's also Fairy Tail Zero, which is a prequel and has its own anime, like a 26-episode season or something. There's a couple Fairy Tail spin-offs. There's Blue Mistral, the Lightning Team. Basically, there's a point where there's a bunch of the characters go like off questing on their own. And Hiro Mashima, I don't think writes them all himself, but he's let other authors write like mangas for other characters. Like Blue Mistral is about a character we meet later. There's an entire one about Grey, and stuff like that, and Juvia, I think.
The Fairy Tail
questing.
cinematic universe.
Pretty much. They don't have animes, but they do have mangas. And then Eden-Zero is the manga that Hiro Mashima started after Fairy Tail ended, and he's writing that along with 100 Years Quest right now. And Rave Master is his first big work, which came before Fairy Tail. And I really like Rave Master. Eden-Zero is just Fairy Tail in space. It does have an anime, though. So does Rave Master.
I mean, I have a recommendation. It's not an anime, though. If you really if you're looking for Fairy Tail as far as, like, the tone goes in a video game and as far as, like, being in a guild and taking quest goes...
Genshin Impact?
No, actually.
Oh.
No.
There's a Pokemon spin-off series called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon where you take little requests and go save people and that kind of thing. And it's got that same kind of... One of the games is the exact same dynamic where the guild master is hilariously overpowered, but you wouldn't think it by looking at him.
I will say, I would actually recommend Genshin Impact off of this.
It's got the good fantasy world setting for that.
Yeah, and dragons and a guild and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I think once again we run into the issue, right, with a lot of these like huge shonen, right? There is nothing that's exactly like Fairy Tail, right?
No. Just like there's nothing like that's exactly like One Piece,
Or
for
Naruto.
example, or Naruto.
Like if a show runs this long, authors don't really parody it in that exact way.
Would you really want something exactly like another show? That's my question.
No, but there are cases like there are at least 30 school life animes that are exactly the same, just with different characters, or like dating game animes.
But even those, like the ones that don't do something to stand out, tend to get lost in the fold unless they're that high of quality.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that there isn't really anything like Fairy Tail, floating around in the world. And part of that's because this is such a popular, large show. I mean, it's like One Piece. Like, who was gonna make a pirate anime and try to outsell One Piece?
Yeah, no one.
It's One Piece. Like, any pirate anime is just gonna get absolutely
princess.
fucking buried in comparison. The only reason you know that show is because you watched it as it was coming out and you've tried to keep up with it.
I watched a few episodes. I didn't finish it.
See, that's what I mean. Like, people don't talk about
it. Just didn't...
But people don't talk about it anymore.
Well, people don't talk about most anime anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But, I don't really have any other recommendations other than, okay, this is pretty shonen by the number, but it's slightly more childish in its tone than some of the other shonens we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is definitely more childish than, like, One Piece overall.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call this shonen by the number, because other shonen, for better or worse, tend to blend their arcs a little bit more, even amongst the ones you've shown us. This one, you could watch an individual arc as kind of its own thing. It's a little bit more segmented than a lot of shonen are, to both the show's detriment and benefit, I think.
I suppose that's fair, and some of the arcs are really long and some are really short. Like, we just had a 3-episode arc, and there's a 2-episode arc later, but then the next couple arcs are like 8 to 20.
For me, like when I watch this, I get a very similar feeling to Pokemon, except the arcs, like the bigger arcs, can run a little bit longer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured I'd just start out with recommendations since I didn't have that many. I mean, do you guys have anything you think?
No, not particularly.
Really.
Like, I would honestly just be rambling off, like, some shonens that come to mind, but honestly, a lot of them are, like, more contemporary shonen. So, and I mean, that's fine, but if you're watching that, you probably already watched Fairy Tail to some capacity.
This isn't necessarily a recommendation, but looking at and I'm not trying to, I'm just trying, like, I want to bring this into a topic, not talking about recommendations. Fairy Tail's kind of ahead of its time when you think about it as far as the modern isekai boom goes. Because in the fantasy boom in general, but that in the modern day goes as isekai. A lot of isekai take that guild structure that Fairy Tail uses as well.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Where,
I'd say
like, go pick up quests.
Adventurers guilds.
Yeah. I'd say
wasn't as much of a thing back.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you don't really see that in like One Piece or Naruto really, or Dragon Ball. It's not guilds per se.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying this as Fairy Tail inspired this, because this is obviously inspired by a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to see, like, how do you think Fairy Tail stacks up compared to more modern isekai as far as that kind of system goes?
Honestly, okay, and this is entirely a product of the fact that Fairy Tail is so long running. But I think that Fairy Tail is one of the best guild systems I've ever seen because A, it has enough episodes to fully develop a guild system. B, there are later parts where the guild system is like subverted, broken apart, and restructured. Like, C, the guild itself actually faces trials and tribulations. It's not just an anomalous building where a woman works at the counter giving out missions. Like, these guilds are active, like, groups of people that work together and live together and are friends, and they actually can face, like, trouble as a guild as a whole, which feels a little bit more genuine than just, like, the anomalous big-boobed lady at the counter who gives out a quest to anyone who comes in asking.
Yeah.
Right? And then, also, Fairy Tail has enough episodes that it can develop its guild ensemble cast. By the time we get to Grand Magic Games, every character who isn't blatantly fodder, right? Every character who isn't just a faceless background blob, you know the magic style of, you know their name, you know, like, a personal story about them. Like, all of these characters matter going forward.
You know what modern fantasy anime I've seen that I think doesn't do it as well as Fairy Tail, but does manage to develop its side guild cast a little bit more? Goblin Slayer.
I was actually just gonna say
Yeah.
that. This reminds me, because you have, like, Lancer...
Jesus.
What the fuck?
Something just fell.
Oh.
Ace!
Our wild ace attacked.
Yes. Attacked a mug.
Anyways, but, yeah... Because in Goblin Slayer, you have, like, Lancer and Shielder and Fighter and all that stuff, like the characters who aren't the Goblin Slayer and the Mage Girl, but we still actually get to experience them quite a bit, and then at the end, they are all fighting together as a guild, as one organization, against an invasion that threatens them all.
That said, let me quickly interject here. This is not a recommendation.
No.
If you enjoy Fairy Tail a lot for its tone and such, don't go to Goblin Slayer. Very different type of show. We're just creating a parallel between the systems here.
Yeah, I think for me the problem with most isekais when it comes to the guild system is 99% of isekais take the guild system to just be there is a building in every town with a big boobed lady at the counter who will give out quests and rewards to anyone who comes by. It's such an NPC moment.
Yeah.
In all the modern isekai, and that's because you can't develop like a big guild in so few episodes if you're focusing so much on like the main characters.
Right, like an Overlord when Ainz was going out as Momon, he was just going from guild to guild. You didn't really get a development in the system. Like you got like little bits and pieces, but you never got it like fully fleshed out.
Oh.
Also,
sorry, go ahead, finish. I have one more recommendation.
no, spill it. You look like you were gonna burst.
So this actually does kind of tie back to the Fairy Tail author a bit, but Monster Hunter has that same guild structure too as far as video games go, and he wrote a manga based on
Shit,
it. Right?
yeah, okay. He has a 4-volume manga that I'm gonna have Knick-Knack read called Monster Hunter Origin. That's basically just the Monster Hunter game, but as a book.
Yeah. And it does pair well. Like,
It's the guild.
If you get a group of friends together, you're basically Natsu, Urza, and Gray going out on a mission. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are hunting this big giant beast, and you're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Or killing it, either way.
I will say, I think one of the things about the fairy tale guild world that works well for it in terms of actually defining a guild right is fairy tale wizards cannot walk into, like, you cannot walk into another guild and take a quest. Like, they get that mark on their hands. They can only take quests from their own guild. And when people are sending out quests, right, they're posting them, they actually have to pick which guilds they're going to post them in, you know? So,
like certain guilds can only get a certain amount of quests.
it's not that, but it's like somebody posting like a quest might post it in Blue Pegasus and Fairy Tale, but not Phantom Lord, because they don't want to post it in Phantom Lord or something. Like, this doesn't have the mechanic of go into any guild in any city. Like, you are always returning to home base where you get all your quests from.
Like, only the people who don't know post small-time quests at Fairy Tale, because the people who don't know are the ones that tend to get their cities destroyed.
Yeah, so like the guild system is very structured and important to the plot because it's their family and it's like the people that they're around all the time. And we don't always see the main four as like the only group. Like, we do actually get sometimes shakeups in the teams and like little stories following other teams occasionally. And there are other set teams, and then there are just characters who like go along like wherever. Like, I know Levy, Jet, and Droid, the three who got crucified, they're a semi-permanent team. Like, they almost always work together.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how long in terms of, like, fairy tale days is the Phantom Lord arc?
A day.
A day?
That's the thing about anime.
Well, no, so once Phantom Lord comes there with their mechanized monster, that's
Yeah.
a single day. Night never comes.
Yeah.
No, I meant, like, what happened, like, when
Okay, so
the
they
guild
get
all
crucified,
destroyed.
right? They get crucified, and the
Okay.
guild gets destroyed. They show up in the morning after that. Then they take the people to the healer, rally the guild to go knock down Phantom Lord's door, get their asses kicked, run back to Fairy Tale, and then literally, I think it's like the next day, Phantom Lord shows up.
So that's technically, like, maybe 3 days?
2.
That's just an
Approximately.
anime or a fight, an action thing in general.
Yeah.
It always feels longer than it is.
Yeah, no, because I was wondering, where's my goddamn Inquisition?
No, it's like 2 days. It's not a long time. I mean, Galuna Island was only like a week at most.
Yeah.
Like, in-game time, they weren't spending a whole ton of time doing these missions. The longest they spent was actually on the filler mission. They were there for 2 weeks putting on that play.
Yeah.
Like,
Put this into perspective, the entirety of any given One Piece arc is usually over the course of like 3 hours.
yeah, or like 2 days
Yeah.
max.
Yeah.
Great.
So, that's just some perspective.
Shonen arcs, long time.
It's
Little
sort of like
time
how your
passed.
D&D fights will last like 6 hours, and then suddenly you're like, well, that was
Good
10
5
minutes.
minutes.
10 minutes in story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan though. I think it's super fun. We finally hit some more serious bits than Galuna Island overall, even though there's still comedy, of course.
Yeah.
But we're getting arcs that are a little bit more. What's the word?
Impactful.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. Yeah, impactful.
Alright.
Are we rolling?
Do y'all have like a favorite magic so far that you've seen?
Not
I'm just curious.
I've got a least
Not-
favorite.
Wait, which one?
Lucy's.
Yeah, you haven't really seen her utilize her magic.
But yes, she has Leo Loki, but like, that's literally the only someone I
Did
have.
you
that
not
I
like
actually care for.
Sagittarius?
No.
The horse-headed archer.
Horse-headed archer.
He was hilarious.
I mean, I don't really have a particularly... I mean, actually, no. I'd say I like the Dragon Slayer magic style. Yeah.
Where did they get Sagittarius again? Like, when?
Oh, she got him as a new key. I forget what she specifically said, but it was the only key that she had on her, so...
Yeah, she
like,
picked him up from like a mission request or something, or bought him at a shop. Because
It
you
was a
can
pretty
buy.
offhanded off-screen thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can just pick up keys or buy them. I think she was gifted it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Galuna Island quest. One of the payments was a gold key.
Yeah.
That's why they took it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there are only 12 Zodiac keys, so
Yeah, so... And how many of them does Lucy have again?
she's got Leo the Lion, Sagittarius, Taurus, Cancer, the Mermaid, Aquarius. I think she just has those 5 right now.
Okay.
Great.
I
Gotta
think.
catch 'em all.
Pokemon, do 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she just has those 5 for now.
Yeah.
Wait, is the Aquarius the
Blue-haired
silver or
mermaid
gold?
lady.
No, is it
She's
silver?
gold. All the Zodiac keys are
Oh.
gold. So the 12 Zodiacs are gold. There's only 1 key of each of those.
So that's the reason why she can get away with treating Lucy like crap.
No, there's actual backstory reasons for that,
Okay.
which is separate entirely. Aquarius has like a whole ass thing in her backstory with Lucy that is heart-wrenching when you
Okay.
get to it. Literally heart-wrenching, and we will not get there, but I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
Because even if I take you to Grand Magic Games, we will not get there. But the silver keys, like Gate of the Clock and that kind of thing, there can be multiple keys in existence. So multiple people can have those spirits, which is why her contracts with them are like every second Tuesday of the month only, because I have other days. But with the Zodiac keys, there's only 1 of each.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have a full set of the Zodiac keys somewhere in here.
Nice.
All right, we want to go ahead and pull at this point.
Yes.
I was putting it off because I really want to get pulled, and I might not get pulled.
Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Come on.
Damn it.
Who got it?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
So what you doing?
I didn't think I'd actually pull. All right, ReZero Part 2. Second half. As usual with the second submission, I guess. What can improve, or I guess we all approve, so what would have to happen to ruin your guys' approval here? Like, what could go wrong that you've seen?
More depression. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're getting more depression.
I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not gonna say really this can be ruined for me because I've seen enough of this arc. So I don't really have anything that I can comment on it.
They start throwing some very convoluted, absolutely bullcrap shit in.
Sekhie?
So I'm not feeling too happy about it. But at
Yeah.
the same time,
Well, let's ignore the comments here.
Let's ignore the
them.
comments.
Ignore those fuckers. Ignore those people. No one likes them anyway. I'm kidding. I love you guys.
We all love you guys.
You definitely had a lot of complaints about the last ReZero. What is something that would, if it continued, you'd probably drop to a meh? Or if it got worse, you would drop to a meh?
I don't want him to die as frequently. Because he died 7 times in 6 episodes. That's a lot of deaths. I don't want him to die as frequently.
That's basically a death per episode.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fucking lot.
Yeah.
That's like
You all were going on about how there was like greed and pride and like shit like that and how characters get better later and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't get any of that, like greed, pride, like sins, like.
Being fair, it's very loose in those early
It
arcs.
is
And I think that
very-
we brought that up a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You brought that up repeatedly.
I mean, I know I brought it up quite a bit.
That was a bit in
honestly.
response to Realm bringing up stuff that was kind of more later thematically tied in.
Yeah, and I don't get any of that, so that was kind of a letdown. And then
I don't think I tried to.
I don't know. What's her face needs to be less of a fucking wallflower.
Amelia.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, if she's gonna be a main character, I need her to actually be a person and not just boobs on screen for my dude to simp over.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before we go, I do want to bring up that this is the rest of the director's cut, meaning there is an additional episode in there compared to the normal one. Like a full-ass episode.
Yeah. How is it 7 through...
I want to say it's called EX through... Let me just pull up the count here.
Look, you stopped us at 6, so it's 7 through something.
Well, then, let me see if I could show you
Oh
here.
my fucking god.
So it's...
I already have the DX in there.
Memory Snow through episode 13.
So
So 7 through 13.
7 through 13.
Number
including-
7 in the episode count through 13.
Nope, 'cause the next one's still called episode 7.
So 7 through 14.
7 through 14. Let's just do 7 through 14.
Maybe you shouldn't have thrown us into the director's cut.
Like, it's not rocket science. If it's 7 through 14, it's 7 through 14. There are 14 episodes in that list. Even if it stops at 13, there are 14 episodes in the list.
Like, even the original had stupid episode numberings. Episode 1 was called Episode 1 Part 1 and Episode 1 Part 2.
Yeah.
So I do not feel bad about this stupidity.
So it needs to stop doing that for me to like it.
Oh, it does. After this submission.
Oh, man. That sucks ass.
Actually sad.
Look, you have to write it down, and then you don't actually have to know anything else anytime soon. That's my mess to figure out with thumbnail and tagging.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll watch that then. And with that being said, you only have your name once left in the hat.
Yep.
And I know what it's going to be, so. All right. We'll see you next week. Like, comment, subscribe.
Try harder.